The woman was trying on wedding dresses at the bridal shop when she unexpectedly saw her fiancé, who had just claimed to be busy with work, accompanying another woman to look at the gowns. At first, she thought her fiancé had betrayed her. But then she heard the shop clerk warmly address the couple as sir and madam and learned that they took wedding photos together every year. The woman immediately realized that she was the hidden third party. And what made her heartache even worse was that the man had an adult son. To uncover the truth, the woman quietly followed them to the mall. Watching the family of three beam with happiness, her heart felt as if it were being pierced by needles. Suddenly, the wife complained that the man's clothes looked too cheap. She picked up an expensive coat and asked him to change into it, unaware that the clothes he was wearing had been bought from the woman. To make his wife happy, the man swiped his card and paid for the coat, then threw the clothes that the woman had given him into the trash can. The woman was heartbroken and felt that she, just like the discarded clothing, could be thrown away at will. At that moment, the man stepped out alone to take a phone call. Unable to let it go, the woman followed him to get answers, only to hear a truth that shattered her heart. From the very beginning, the man had been attracted to her youth and beauty and had never intended to marry her. When they were together, the woman was only 18. The man said he was single and truly in love with her, which made her agree to be in a relationship with him. She even gave up the opportunity to study abroad, determined to stay by his side. In the end, however, she had been deceived into being the third party for 10 years. At this point, all she felt was endless hatred. She vowed to personally destroy the family the man cherished, so she decided to start with his son. The woman deliberately bumped into the son to create a connection and pretended to accidentally drop a business card. The boy, having smelled the perfume before on his father, became suspicious and pocketed the card to investigate later. But before he could act, the woman appeared at his art exhibition. A friend nearby hinted that the beautiful-looking woman might be interested in him, noting that she had just taken many photos of him. The boy, however, thought his friend was joking, having encountered many women who approached him by any means necessary. The woman laughed, opened the photo she had just taken, and proved that she had been photographing her friend's artwork, which embarrassed the boy greatly. Additionally, the woman praised his friend's work, calling it the best at the exhibition, while dismissing the boy's work as ordinary and barely worth noticing. Before leaving, she even mocked him, saying his narcissism was a disease that needed treatment. Indeed, the woman successfully triggered both the boy's competitive spirit and curiosity. The next day, the boy used the information on the business card to visit the cafe the woman ran. The man had also been invited there by the woman beforehand. She intended to orchestrate an awkward confrontation between father and son, but the man left early after receiving a call from his wife. The woman went to greet the boy. He explained that he had come to apologize, admitting that he had been presumptuous at the art exhibition. In fact, he had already developed feelings for her. The woman had bribed the waiter in advance to spill hot coffee on the boy's hand. To apologize, she told him that his friend's orders that day would be free and then took the injured boy into a room to tend to his wound. Her charm was irresistible, and the naive young heir from a wealthy family couldn't resist her. She then deliberately took out his father's clothes for the boy to change into, wanting to see the expression on the man's face when he discovered it. The boy, unaware of her scheme, was even shocked and angry that she actually had another man's clothes. Impulsively, he confessed his feelings for her. The woman, however, said she did not like relationships with an age gap like theirs, claiming he was too young and inexperienced. The boy pulled her into his arms, desperate to prove himself. At that moment, the man called. Before he could say more than a few words, the jealous boy blocked the conversation and urged her to break up and be with him. The man sensed something was wrong and asked her what she was doing. But the woman lied, saying she felt unwell and immediately hung up the phone. The boy promised that if she married him, she would live a life of luxury and comfort. The woman, however, said she wanted to test him. Before leaving, she deliberately sprayed her perfume on the boy's clothes. Back home, the boy's mother noticed the scent of perfume on his father's clothes and questioned him. Seeing her son return, the argument paused temporarily, but the man immediately recognized the boy's clothing as familiar. When questioned, the boy lied, saying a friend had given him the clothes. The man, believing his son had no connection with the woman, saw it as a coincidence and paid it little attention. Little did he know, the carefully constructed image of a devoted husband was about to be destroyed. When the boy sat beside his mother, she immediately noticed the familiar perfume scent. Learning that her son had someone he liked, she gave him a bracelet with a hidden tracker, instructing him to gift it as a token of affection. The next day, the boy excitedly put the bracelet on the woman, vowing that he would marry no one else in his life. After he left, the man's wife followed the tracker to the cafe, noticing that the perfume on the woman was different from the scents on her husband and son. She let down her guard and asked the woman to help her observe who the boy liked. A few days later, the boy won the painting competition. To celebrate, the woman agreed to begin a romantic relationship with him. Coincidentally, it was his parents' wedding anniversary. The boy decided to formally introduce the woman to his parents and invited them to the celebration. Little did the boy know, the woman had been waiting for this moment for a long time. She was determined to ruin the boy's father on this special day. Curious guests wondered what the boy's girlfriend looked like, and the man eagerly looked toward the door. At that moment, the woman slowly entered the private room. The boy stood up to meet her, and his father was left in awe.